Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hobby CNC with Dave show. If you haven't already guessed, I'm Dave, and let me bring in my crew that's going to be joining me tonight. Got the Wolfman in the house tonight.
Hey!
Live from a new room somewhere.
New room.
Same house, new room.
Yep, new regular house, just different room, trying some different setups tonight.
All righty. Well, hope it works out good here. Let's see. We got my buddy Paul joining us tonight as well. And Mr. Sean is with us tonight.
Hello, everyone.
And Russ snuck in here.
Oh,
yes. How you doing, Russ?
I did right at the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, you hit it just right, buddy. Hit it just right. We are going to be talking tonight about the Vectric box creator gadget. In fact, we'll probably talk about a few other box gadget things. There's lots of them out there, but the one that I have is the one that Vectric has in their gadget thing. And of course, it's a third-party thing. It's not in there by default, but it's one of the things that you can get and install. And I have that, and I have the gear maker thing too. Maybe we'll talk about that one night too. So anyway, but before I forget, I got a couple of things I want to do, and I want to show this real quick. Let me share my screen here. Last week, if you joined us, we did the where I made the dog bowl stand for my big boy Jack, and I just thought I would show a picture of it. Nothing real fancy, but this is how Rocky's used to look when it was brand new. They actually they're identical except for the name, of course, but that's how that one turned out. So
That turned out really good.
It's nice, man.
Yeah.
it's now in the house being slobbered on. It will never look that good again.
So when's Jack going to get a hold of it?
That's a good one.
Yeah. Who is that funny guy? So anyway, I wanted to show you that, and I've got a few samples here. I got too much stuff. Before I forget too, let's do the let's talk about the real reason everybody's here.
No.
We are going to be giving away. Cody gave me my instructions earlier today, and we're going to be giving away this beautiful thing. It's the
sweet
compression bit, 1/4-inch compression.
Ooh, yeah.
Nice.
Which I guess that's the original Chinny, I guess.
Yeah.
But we're going to be giving one of those away tonight. So the hashtag you want to put in is, let me get that turned off. Okay, yeah, stop. Is hashtag Jenny.
Our fellow friend from Sweden has already put all the hashtags he could think of in the chat before he even said anything, and that was one of them.
Okay, well he's good to go then. If
Yeah,
he got,
buddy.
as long as he got that one. So yeah, there they go. And while I'm at it, I better get the
Let me sign up
giveaway
for it.
tool already going collecting them, since they're already putting them in there. So we'll get that.
Will it collect the ones that have already been put in, or do you need to put them in again?
No, it should collect all of them for this broadcast. In fact, as soon as I click go, start collecting, it jumped to 31. So it should be getting them all. So we'll leave that running in the background, and we'll show that hashtag Jenny thing a few times during the show here. But anyway, let's talk about the box creator. I know Paul had an interest in it. He had been fooling around with it a little bit, I guess. And you got a little box there, Paul. Let's give you the solo layout here for a second. Now, is that just a random size you picked, or did you make that for a certain object?
It just was a random pick based on the size of the piece of wood I had. It's 2 inches by 4 inches by 2 inches tall.
Okay. Well, it looks like it came out pretty good.
And it's 1/8 inch Baltic birch.
Okay.
There's a question that I have specifically on that. Is because my wife has just informed me that I have to make a open face box like that, no lid, and the dimensions are 2 inches tall, and 18 inches some odd wide, and about 9 something in depth, and
Okay.
I have 7/16 inch plywood out in the shop to use for that purpose. Now, I have been studying that before this topic was for the show, and I've been studying it for the last couple of 2 or 3 weeks, looking at it. And when you tell it the size that you want, and it takes into account the thickness of your wood, and
Yes.
when it draws everything up for you, it's already got that thickness of the wood counted in, so you don't have to
Yes.
think about it.
But if you tell it 2 inches, it's 2 inches from here to here,
Yeah.
or from here to here.
To the bottom.
Yeah, it's the full size of the piece.
It's outside dimensions.
Right, outside dimension, full outside dimensions.
Okay, so I'll have to add some a
Yeah,
half an inch somewhere here and there,
yeah.
then to make it actually fit the thing. Okay, all right, that helps. I wasn't for sure how if it took it into account completely.
And I
Yeah.
learned the hard way, when you set that thing up, there's a tool path, and then there's the outside dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And when you click on it, you only want to click on the tool path, not on the outside dimension. Otherwise, it's not going to fit. It's going to be, you'll have too much slop.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It's kind of. It's
Yeah,
kind of
there's
does.
two lines around there, and you just want
Right.
to click on the outside one for the tool path.
Okay.
Yeah. What I'd hope this computer don't crash on me. This computer's on its last legs here. What I would suggest, and this is what I did today when I came out here, is these are I went into the Gadget thing, and I'll even pull it up. It's right here, Box Creator, and I just told it 3 inches by 3 inches by 3 inches. And then I think I had on this little one, I had the joint or the finger width is what that means,
Mm-hmm.
a 0.3. And then this very first box, I have this one labeled number 1. I turned the lid off. So, if you want a lid, you can make a lid and you either have a flat lid, which to me is confusing because a flat lid would make you think it's just a piece of wood.
Yeah.
It's rectangle or square, but it's not. I'd have to show you, but it actually puts a dado on each side so that it sets down in. Or you can have the tab lid, which is just like the bottom. But if you say make lid and you leave that unchecked, it still has this on, but it's not going to make one. But what I think is weird is by default, instead of having this square tabs, they have it by default. It always comes up dovetails.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yet there's no instructions. This is it. What you see right here. This is it. You can select your tool, and I will come and select this 1/8 end mill, which is what I was using. But I mean, this is it. There's no instructions to tell you anything. So you got to kind of figure some of this stuff out. Now, keep in mind, this is a third-party stuff that Vectric says, okay, that's good enough. We'll let people use that and put it in our Gadget folder. And, and it is pretty nice. But like I said, it's very lacking as far as instructions. But anyway, this little box right here is the one I made, and this one I started out with a 4/1000 allowance. Now, if I zoom back in here, let me pull this back up. This 4/1000 allowance means that there is 4/1000 from here to here, or 4,000. Not well. I take that back. That's not the allowance. I said that wrong. Let me see if I can. I'm probably going to crash this computer because it is going to. I've got so many things open in it. Okay, here I've already got it over here. I think. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's look at this example. Can you see that 0.0585?
Yeah.
Okay, think about that now. I'm using a 1/8 inch bit, so that's 0.125. So half of that bit, or the radius of that bit, is going to be a 1/16, which is 0.0625.
Mm-hmm.
And then 0.0585 is the allowance from that.
So the allowance makes it tighter, not looser.
No, what it's doing is it's cutting that finger 4 thousandths smaller
Right. Okay.
on each, but it's on each side. So it's going to be a
Right.
total of 8 thousandths.
Hmm.
You can see here, I'm just measuring one side here. And that's where I get the 0.0585, which is 4 thousandths less than 0.0625. So, and when I did that, I thought, well, let me try that. So I ran this first one, and it goes together pretty good. You could easily pull it back apart. It's not like it really is, you didn't have to tap it together. But it'd probably be about right if you were going to put some glue on there and stuff like that. And then I came back and I thought, well, just to start with a baseline, I need to run one with no allowance, just 0. And because this stuff is really small, this is like that Luan type plywood stuff, measures about 0.190, so just a hair over 3/16 thick. So this one was run without any allowance at all. And I really thought that I wouldn't be able to get it together, but seeing how it's all real small and there's a little give to pieces, you can get this thing tapped together. Now, of course, I'd hate to have to pull it apart and try to put glue on it and then put it back, because you'd be fumbling around. You'd probably end up getting glue all over every place trying to do it, because it fits so good with no allowance that the glue would just make a mess, I'm sure. But anyway, so then if you look back, I'll keep going back and forth here. I actually had, so I did number 1 with 4 thousandths allowance. I did number 2 with no allowance. And then actually number 3 and 4 were going to be, this was going to be 6 thousandths, which would be 12 thousandths total on both sides. And then this one was going to be 8 thousandths, which would be 16 thousandths total on both sides. And I decided not to even run those two, because I thought, well, just running the 4 thousandths, it fits good, but it's still where you can, easily pull this back off. Like this piece will come off real easy. So I think that would be about right for this type of material. Now, granted, I don't think that's, I don't think there's once you figure it out with this, I don't think you can go, okay, that's the magic number and use that with all kinds of thicknesses. I don't think that'll work. I think you would need to run a test piece, and it, doesn't have to be a big one. It could be just a 3x3 cube like this, but whatever thickness you're trying to run.
What kind of bit did you use on it?
I used a 1/8 down cut, and I didn't put any tabs on there. That's why I used a down cut, so that it would, I say so it would pack it in, but really you don't get a whole lot of dust packed in to hold it, because this stuff is so thin. Basically, I did it in 2 passes, so they're really but the way it works out, you're cutting that last pass is like 100 and, almost an 1/8 inch thick. So it's not really going to let go until it finishes and cuts through that last piece. And it may move, but it doesn't hurt anything, because it's not like it moves and hits that little spinny thing and takes off. So anyway, so then after I thought, well, it looks like the 4 thousandths allowance is about right. So then I ran this box. Let me change this setup just a little bit here. So then I ran this one, and this one is 9 inches by 7 inches by 4 inches. And again, this has got the 4 thousandths allowance, and this made, although it is like I said, it's the cheap Luan plywood stuff, so it's not that great. But it made a really nice little box.
So the inside of that box is not 4 inches, actually. It's actually a little less than that, according to what we were saying earlier.
Right.
It's going to be the thickness less, which is about 0.19. So it's going to be about 3/16 less.
All right.
If you put a caliper on it this way, it's 4 inches,
Yeah. Okay. I
7
know what
this
I have to
way,
do now.
and 9 this way.
Now I made one out of 1/2 inch plywood, and I used 1/1000th allowance, and I couldn't beat that thing together.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the thicker you go,
The more allowance you're going to need.
the more allowance you're going to need. But like I said, I think you probably would be smart to always do a test piece, something small, just with, or you could even just only cut 2 of the pieces.
Right.
Maybe a bottom and a side, one side, and just see how it goes together. Because they're all, I mean, if you got your fingers all set the same, they're all going to be the same. But again, the thicker you go, the more you're going to have to play around with it.
It does make a nice box, though.
Yeah,
It
it looks like a
does.
beautiful drawer.
Yeah, you could use these for all kinds of things, all kinds of little storage things. You could probably even add to the file and make them where they stack in a way, or use this like a drawer, put a couple of holes, put your hand, pull handle or something. I mean, there's just a lot of different things you could do with these, and they're pretty nice. Now, also, since I'm using stuff so thin, I'm going to hold it up here, and maybe you can tell. This does put
A little fillet.
a dog bone
Mm-hmm.
in all of those things. So when, of course, I'm holding it right here where I can look at it close. You can see it easily, even with stuff this thin. Now, of course, if you ran, say, 3/4 inch plywood and you're using a 1/4 inch bit, now you're going to have a big old dog bone, and it's not going to look as nice. But you can use this same, I call it Vectric, but I know it's a third party. The box creator, you can use this with, say you had a laser, like I know Sean's got a laser. If you can cut this thickness, you could use this with the laser, and just when you select your bit, you could just say, you could just pull up an end mill and say, well, it's a diameter of 10 thousandths or something.
Yeah, that's all right.
And that's really all you have to do. And then you could turn around and use the file with your laser.
The one thing that I found out that I don't like about that program is, like, if I'm designing this box and I go and I fill out all the boxes and all that, and I lay it out on my sheet, and I think, well, I could have gone a little bit bigger. If I want to change the size of that box or change anything in it, I got to erase everything and start all over.
Yeah, you have to start all over.
Yeah.
I saw one of the YouTube videos that I was looking at. There was a fella that he set up all his stuff, and he decided he didn't like how it was laid out, so he went and moved stuff around, and then made his own tool path for it. And he just said he just funked everything up. He said, once you set it, you got to go with it.
If you want to change stuff around, what I found the easiest way to do it is to erase your tool path, then move all your parts around where you want them, and then run your tool path program and pick on the line instead of outside or inside. Pick on the line, and that works pretty good after you've got all your pieces where you want them on your workpiece.
Yeah, that's you know what? Let me again. I'll try to do this. I'm gonna start with a new thing here, and I'll pull this up. Hopefully, this won't crash. Let's see here, because I saw a question.
Yeah, I've been starting a bunch for you.
There's a whole bunch in there that don't have the
we'll
question marks on them.
Yeah.
We'll get them just here in a second.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just. That
was one of the questions out there.
Okay, let me put my. Actually, I think I said 4 thousandths. I actually changed it to 3 thousandths. I think on this one, which would be a total of 6, and that worked pretty good. But what I wanted to do is show when you, like I said, there's not a lot of stuff to fill out here. You put your outside dimensions, width, depth, and height, how wide you want the finger or the joint width is what they call it, and then what you want the allowance, whether or not you want a lid or not. You select your tool. Let me come back and select that 1/8 inch end mill. Okay, I've got square tabs. That's pretty much it. So when I click OK, you see it goes ahead and puts this on here. Oh, I've got my materials too small because I had that other one running. Let me change that right quick. Can't even see what I got. Oh, I guess that one's too big for that. All right. But anyway, what I wanted to show you is when you come over here, it already has the cut file. And by default, there's a few things you need to watch out for. Because if I double click this, it will automatically put tabs. And you can see they show up now.
Right.
So I wanted that turned off. And then it also added a ramp to all the toolpath, which I didn't need that because this stuff is so thin. I didn't need that at all. But anyway, so then you can recalculate that, and then it'll put all your toolpaths back to wherever you moved it. And I didn't realize I had this thing so big it won't even fit on that sheet. So, oh, I know what I got wrong. I got something wrong here. The sides are real high. Let me start over here. Yeah, I must have had fat fingers or something because I didn't want the sides near that high. Oh yeah, the height's 12. Heck no, we don't want that. All right, so let's go with 5. Let's go with 12, 10, 5. And of course, each time you start over, it puts all this stuff back to. Okay, and this what thing it really annoys me here. I don't know why it thinks you always want that as the default. Which I haven't even played around with that. I'm going to try to play around, but I'm thinking, well, how do you know how to do it? What bit, what bit's it looking for? Because there's no documentation with this at all that I know of. So, all right. So anyway, so I click this. Now this should fit on there. Yeah. Let me bring this down. Oop. And over. Okay, and now when you come over here, this is what I was talking about. You double click on this. It'll put tabs, and of course I never do like where it puts them anyway. And when you're dealing with these kind of little boxes, I don't know why you would want tabs. I think the best way is just use a down cut and do it. But okay, now let's move over there to the questions because I see one of the questions. I think this one. Does that script make corner tool free space? And I think he's talking about dog bones. And if you look close, this doesn't have the best monitor. This one probably works better down here. You can see that it's going to automatically add the dog bones based on what tool you told it you're going to use. Okay. I think, let's see. Jesse asked, what's the difference between that one and the Downtown Genie? And I think Cody's already answered it. Yes, the compression bit we're giving away tonight, and the Downtown is just a down shear on. And if you look close, I'll show that beautiful video again. You look close at the first, I don't know, 100 thousandths of top of that bit, you can see it's going one way and the rest of it's going the other way. So that is a compression bit.
It looks so big in the video.
Okay, so we got those two answered. Let's see what else we got. Al says, how long did it take? Oh, he's asking Paul.
Yeah.
How long it took
Paul's
to cut
box
the-
that he made.
Yeah, I think mine took about 20 minutes at the most.
Okay, I took these little 3x3x3 took about 5 minutes for the 5 pieces. They're about a minute a piece to cut that, and this one probably didn't take, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 minutes. We can time it because I've got another one set up to run back here that will run here in just a minute. Let's get over to the questions again. Okay, we got that. What is it? Bob P hit us up with a super chat. Thank you, Bob. You're awesome, dude. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Bob.
Todd says you should have a 10th thou allowance to make joints fit snug, not too tight or too loose.
Yeah. So there's a lot of conversation about this, like as you were talking about it too, about like what ones everybody's using. I think it really has to do more with your bit diameter than anything else. Like, you know, you may have an 1/8 inch bit, but it's not really 1/8 inch. You know, the precision.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There.
Is, you know, a lot of times, especially any bit, any manufacturer that makes a bit, doesn't matter who it is, they have a tolerance. You know, if they're making a 1/4 inch end mill and it measures 249, they're not going to throw it out. They're going to have a certain tolerance. It might be plus or minus 1 or 1.5 or 2 or whatever. But as long as it meets their tolerance, if they got a tolerance of plus or minus 2 thou and it's 248, they're going to sell that bit. So that can affect your thing. That's why I say run test pieces. And this one here, that, like I said, if it's when I grab it, I can easily pull these off. Of course, the more I play with it, the easier they get to come off. But I think that would be perfect because by the time you put glue, you got to have somewhere for that glue to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you just try to run everything at no allowance and beat it together, yeah, you might get it together, but now how you going to put glue on it if that's what you're planning on doing?
You don't need glue if it's that tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't think this one would come apart. Now, if I pull hard enough, it would. But this is the one I ran just for giggles without any allowance, and it'll go together, but it wouldn't be any fun to try to glue up. And I think, like I said, no matter what you're running, what thickness, what bit, you're still probably going to need to allow to run at least 2 pieces to test fit. And of course, if those don't work, you're going to need to run 2 more. You know, if it's too loose, you need to tighten it up. If it's too tight, you need to loosen it up. So it all depends on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Cody just chimed in too. Typical tolerance for end mills, regardless of the manufacturer, is about 2.
Okay, one-sided tolerance then, plus nothing, minus 2.
Yeah.
And that makes perfect sense because you don't want it to be bigger.
Yeah. It's the same thing like solar panels do that too. You know, a 350 watt, maybe 354 or maybe 352, but it's not going to be 349.
Yeah. Well, pretty much any kind of manufacturing. There's no, it's what I used to always tell people, you know, because I did all that sheet metal stuff. There's no such thing as a perfect sheet metal part. That's why you have tolerances. You know, some tolerances are looser than others. You know, some might be a 32nd, you know, depending on what it is and what it's used for. It may not make any difference. other things maybe plus or minus 5. So, but there's no such thing as a perfect part. And I'll even say in wood, metal, plastic, pretty much anything.
You should see the tolerances I'm using on that building. I think we're working in feet.
Plus or minus a foot.
Maybe 2.
Okay. Todd says you can enter positive or negative number in the allowance. Typically, you want positive allowance to loosen the fit. Yeah, if you put anything negative in there at all, I don't know how you'd ever get it together. Because, like I said, the one that I use 0, which is this one right here, it fit, but I had to tap each piece in and do it gently where it wouldn't wouldn't chip something off. So
yeah,
but it's about as perfect as you can get, I guess, that way. But like I said, I wouldn't want to try to take it apart and then put glue on it and then try to get it back together.
And then Vectric too, you can like if you're just doing like a test fit piece, you can you say, okay, I want a left side and a front or something like that. But you can also go in and modify that. There's no fingers on one side, like afterwards. Like it puts pieces onto your screen, and then you can go back and modify the nodes still, right?
Yeah, it just creates the
basic shape of
the basic shape, and you could add holes and like for example, let's say you wanted to use 1/2-inch plywood and you wanted to make something, which is something I'm going to end up doing. That's probably what I'm going to use, that super high dollar 1/2-inch that I bought. I'm probably going to make a box because I could show you, but I know what'll happen if I grab that camera and try to move it. So, but you guys know I have CNC controllers, which are nothing more than a bunch of components screwed to a flat piece of plywood.
Right.
So what I was thinking of doing is using the box creator Gadget to make a good controller box. Yeah. But you could also lay out the bottom. You use it to create the basic shape, and then you could come in and you can lay out and you could go ahead and put your holes, any kind of holes. If you wanted a fan on the side, you can make all kinds of cool little enclosures out of this stuff using that Gadget. Like I said, this just gets you the basic shape. After that, you can go as crazy as you want to with it.
Here, John has a quick question here for us too. Maybe you can show this, Dave, about how you can get it if it's not showing up on. How do you add gadgets to your?
Okay, let me do that real quick. But I see Thomas had a question, and maybe he's seen it since then. But let me put this back on the screen. Thomas, the allowance is like the 5th one down here. It's width, depth, height, joint width, and then allowance. And like I said, by default, it's just got a 0 in there. And then you just put 3 thousandths, or I got an extra 0 in there. And what that's going to do is that's going to put 3 thousandths slop or tolerance on both sides of that finger. So it's really a total of 6 because you're cutting both around both sides of it. But that's where that is. Okay. Okay. Let's let me get that off of here. Let's see if I can. Let me stop sharing my screen here for a second, and then I'll see if I can get this open. Let's see if this works. Okay. I'm going to try to do this. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Let's see. I think I'm just going to close that window because I don't think I need that one. And let's see. Might get tricky here, folks, because this computer is going to be saying, Dave, what are you doing? Quit opening apps. Okay,
Boy.
I'm going to try this. We'll see if this works or not. Somewhere over here on this Vectric page is
Community.
is a community.
I think so.
Gadgets. You're right. Oh, you're awesome, Russ.
Buddy, you needed me.
That's why we
I hope
keep
that's
you around.
reflected in my paycheck, buddy.
Yeah. You'll have a bonus this week for sure.
That's why
Okay,
you're
so
stuck
here-
behind the sign there, Russ, at the bottom.
So here, you saw how we did that. We went to the Vectric thing, went to community, as Russ said, and let me get that comment off of there.
Yeah, I was going for it. That's how you do you.
There it is. Okay. All right, there we go. So, and it's been a minute since I got it, but it's on here somewhere.
Tool
Version
path.
11 gadgets, drawing, modeling, tool pass. I think it's in here,
Mhm.
right, Russ? Is this it?
I'm not saying.
I think
I've
so.
already got jumped on.
Okay, here we go. Box creators. So it's in tool pass. And then you would click on that. And then it would say download the gadget. Now, I already have it downloaded. So I'll come back over here to right here. Once you have it downloaded, and it's probably going to be in your download folder, you can come here to gadgets, and the first line down says install new gadget. And then it comes up and asks, and you would just go to your downloads. Of course, mine's not going to be here because I got it from the other computer. But you would just highlight it, open it, and start installing it. And basically, I can tell you what it does because since I already had it on my other computer in there in the office. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure what I'm clicking on because I don't have my glasses. But, oh, great. What's that do? Oh, don't
Middle
see it.
one.
Okay. Let me turn this off here for a sec till I get to it. No. Oh, I'm clicking the wrong thing, I think. Ooh. If this computer don't crash, okay, there we go. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do is, if I can do it.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, hold your breath, folks.
While you're doing that, Dave, just reminding everybody for the giveaway today, it's hashtag Jenny. I heard a good joke the other day. It was, what generation is Forrest part of? Gen A.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Wah, wah.
Anyway, what that gadget file, when you install it, here's what it's doing. It's going to here, program data, Vectric, VCarve Pro in my case, version 11. And then you'll see there's a folder called gadgets. So here you can see that I have the standard ones that come with VCarve Pro, and then I also have the box creator, and then I have the gear maker. Now, I didn't get these from the internet and install them that way because I already had them installed, so I knew where they were. So I just went here and copied this folder in this folder, put them on a thumb drive, came in here, then went through all those layers to put them in that gadget folder, and boom, they work. So, but you probably won't be doing it that way. You'll probably be doing it using the install and then double clicking on the file that you get from the download folder and all that. So, all right. Let's see. What other kind of questions we got?
Oh, we got a little bit of a notification from Mr. JR.
Oh,
He hit us with
there he is.
the super chat.
There he is. You there? Appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you, Mr. JR.
You know he's gonna own this show before it's over.
Yeah. Make sure everybody goes and watches Trade Skillers Anonymous.
He's just he's just making payments. He's about got it paid off, I think.
Everybody's got
51%.
Yeah, he ought to be a major shareholder anyway. Let's see.
John Sauter brought up a good point. He wants to make just the sides, and he said the creator won't let you not pick either a top or bottom. You have to pick them both. But I would think that once you got them on your piece of
let's test that now.
you could
let's
delete
test that now.
that, yeah.
Well, Todd's saying that you can select the parts of the box you want to cut.
Let's test that. Let me share screen again. And I'm going to go to Box Creator. See, I've got the lid turned off, but if I turn off the bottom, it's still going to make the four sides.
Right, but not the top or bottom.
But not the top or bottom.
Yep.
Now, the problem is, or maybe it's not a problem. I'm thinking let's do it and see what we get.
You got the four sides.
Okay, but you
At the bottom
notice
tabs.
it put the bottom fingers on there.
Regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to make it like this, you just have to come and edit this and put your line straight across there. If you just wanted to make a square but with it open on the top and the bottom, and wanted a smooth line like this on both sides, because even by not selecting the bottom, it's still going to put the fingers that go into the bottom. And it's probably thinking, why don't they want a bottom? I guess. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, I don't know why you would want a box without a bottom, just four sides. But you might, But still, you can, like I said, this just makes the basic shape. Whatever it makes that you don't want, you can either delete it and or edit it. So. Okay, so what else we got over here question-wise?
Hey, Dave, I have a question. We're talking about the tolerances. And if you have like an 1/8 inch bit, which is 0.125, and you measure it and you find out that it's 0.123, can you go in Vectric where you can edit your tool, where you can change the speed and all that kind of stuff? Can you change the size of the bit there to accommodate the actual size of the bit?
Yeah, you can. I never do that.
Well, I was just wondering.
I don't even take calipers and measure my bits.
Well, I don't either.
Because I know they're going to be like a 1/8 bit is either going to be 1/8 or a little less. Like that one, the one that I put in there right now is a brand new white side. I don't even remember the number, but it's their 1/8 downcut spiral. Brand new, right out of the tube. I had two of them in there, and I thought, I'll stick a brand new one in there. But I didn't measure it to see what it was before I stuck it in there.
Well, I never do either, but we were talking about tolerances and how that could throw off your tolerance. And that's why I was wondering if it was that big a deal, if you could adjust the size of the bit.
Yeah, you could, but then I personally wouldn't want to do that because I'd be afraid that I would grab a bit that like a 1/8 inch bit, and it is 1/8, and I'd stick it in there, but I'd select that tool out of the library, and where I had changed it to 0.123 or something, and then it would not cut right.
Okay.
So,
Well, couldn't you just?
but yes, you can.
tolerance?
You can make that. You can make those things whatever you want in the Vectric library.
Yeah, couldn't you also increase the tolerance? I mean, to compensate for the cut.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm looking at some of these other questions over here. Let's see. What's Jerry say? I want to do the V-carve to Aspire, but I'm out here buying lightsabers from the Comic-Con. All right.
I thought that was awesome.
Who was that?
Jerry Brown.
Jerry Brown.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah, those lightsabers are expensive. I tell you what, if
Okay.
you get one down at Disney, whoa,
Oh.
you're a couple $100 into stupid lightsaber.
Yeah, but you get to make it. You get to build it, and the power is included.
I'm not
Before
sure I
time.
understand this question. He says, how do you get the corner tight, hide the tool radius?
I think that's meaning the dog bone fillet and all. You don't
Yeah.
want to see it.
Yeah, there's really no way to get around it unless you.
Yeah,
go back
with,
to them later
at least
and-
with this box creator, you have to select a tool to use.
Yeah.
And when you select the tool, it automatically puts that dog bone in there according to the size of the thing. So there's no way to hide the radius, and you wouldn't want to take it out anyway because it's not going to fit if it doesn't have a place for that squared corner to go.
Yeah, well,
You got to have some kind of relief in there.
that leads into another question from Russell here too. So, which kind of is what you were saying. He was talking about the outside corners not rounding off, and you're not doing a 3D cut for those dog bones, so you have to have some place for that corner to go.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
order to make it straight with a round bit, you have to have the little bump on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's and as I mentioned earlier, if you were trying to use this application for, say, Sean was going to cut some of these on his laser, well, then you would just,
Yeah.
like I said, you could go and when you select the tool,
There you go.
you just tell it that you can make up a tool. You can say laser, or you can pick in. It doesn't matter what you pick. You just tell it the radius is 5 thousandths or 10 thousandths or whatever you want, and it's going to not really put anything in there.
It'll compensate the dog bone for the thickness of the bit or laser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you tell it you got an end mill that's 0.010 or 10 thousandths, it's going to put a dog bone of 5 thousandths, and you're not even going to see that probably. So, but you're also going to have to cut it with a laser to get it to fit right. It's not, you just can't put a round bit and make it work with stuff like that. You always got to have some kind of relief in there.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Hopefully that made sense. And when you look at them, when you physically look at one, it makes sense of why you have to have the dog bone.
Yeah, I don't think I can get well, let me try this. Because this one's got a little bit of a gap if I push it out. And if you look
Oh yeah. You
at
can,
that right there, you can see how that would not push all the way in if there wasn't a little bit of room for that square corner to go in.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What are we doing on time? We're at an hour. Tell you what, let's do. I've got another one set. Does anybody want to see this run, or do we need to run another one?
Sure, run it.
Yeah.
And I hope I don't hit my clamps. I kind of guesstimated on this, but then, you know, what's the fun in knowing you're not going to hit it? All right, let me we'll load the CNC cam over here. Bring it over here like this. I got it all ready to go. All I got to do is hit the button. And now watch closely those back clamps because they may go flying. I don't know.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's screaming.
I was going to say, he runs his a lot faster than I run mine.
Is that 150 days?
Yeah, that's 150.
I think I run mine at 45.
I do about 100.
Do
I
ya?
feel comfortable.
I'm still learning.
Oh, likewise. I know nothing.
Well, while we're let's see here, while we're watching those go, let's run across a couple of these other things that came through. Bob B. Todd Cox. I don't know why I want to say Bob Todd. Todd Cox. His experience is that the bit diameter, bit wear, stiffness of the CNC, type of wood, thickness of wood, all the cutting stuff, all that stuff does play into the allowances that you need.
Moisture in the air it's
Yeah,
too
but
tight.
other than that,
Well, hence the reason for practicing with the type of material you're going to be using.
Yep.
To get it right. That's about the only way to get it right.
Yep. Harry Raglan had a question about the finger joints, like if you can control how long the finger joints are. If you want to make them long to stand proud and stand them back again. I would think that you'd be able to just tell it that the wood is thicker than what it is, so that it would make the fingers longer.
Yep.
I've done that by accident.
And then you could probably go back and change the depth of cut back to the whatever you really want it to be. I would assume. Let's see here. That one. Now here we go. Chris Nealon. Wish I had a CNC and knew how to use it. Well, we're always learning on how to use the CNC, so that never changes.
Hey,
Even
Chris,
David
we know a
still
guy.
Yeah. But,
We can set you up.
Well,
Chris,
if
even Dave bought a $150 CNC.
that's where I was going.
Making it doing. So
That's where I was going.
if you can even spare $150, it gets you into the game of playing and learning about how to use them, and then you can sell small boxes and then buy a bigger machine.
Yeah, the one he's using now is not the $150 one.
That's definitely not a $150 one.
About 10 times that.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, for 150, it's a great place to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Man, that thing's just fine. I like it.
We already did that one. We did that. I think we're. I think we've caught everything up from other stuff that I was starring before.
That thing cuts faster than Dave can sand.
Yeah.
well, this stuff is really
cuts fast.
really fuzzy. I don't feel like trying to sand it off. You can see how I can use it. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep.
It's a little hard to
You
hear,
can see
Dave.
how by running that down cut, it's got a little. I
Choose
didn't
that
have
one.
to didn't have to.
No tabs.
Yeah, no tabs. Just pull it out of there. That's the way I like to run these. You know, I mean, who wants to have to get a tab off one of these little fingers? All right, let's see what we got here. See if this goes together. Stick it over here.
Oh, that didn't work out. Let's try it again. Go back.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, every time I see this right now, it's my first thought is that would make an awesome drawer.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
they do make
We-
them out of that. That's what they
Oh,
were
yeah.
doing on those YouTube videos I've been looking at for the last 3 weeks.
Okay. You're drawered out, huh?
Yeah. Well, I said this is right on time. So I do have to make that one tray. It's almost the same size as the one you just picked up a minute ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just about that size.
Before, when we were talking about like why would you not want a bottom to a box, I was actually a while ago I was making like kind of a shadow box type of project, and you know I would have just made a little dado in the back there for the back piece or whatever. So that would have been a good reason for not having fingers on the back or whatever.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
This one is probably fitting tighter than it should, simply because I'm not sanding all the little fuzzies out of it.
Yeah, excuses.
But you can see how. Let's see what the cycle time was on that.
That was only a couple minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 minutes and 44 seconds. So
Oh,
of
here
course you could
I'll get you.
sand it a little bit to get the. This thing is just super fuzzy because of the crummy glue-on plywood stuff, but it works really well if you spend a little time to figure out to get your fit right. I think it's a really handy.
What tolerance did you use on that?
I had 3 thousandths on this one, so it was
Okay.
a total of 6.
Right,
Both,
okay.
Both sides. But yeah, that would make a really sweet drawer, or
Yeah.
whatever. Lord knows I could use some organization around here.
Don't show my wife. I hope she doesn't look at this because she's wanting to organize my shop already.
Yeah.
You know, if you wanted to, you could cut a circle right in the middle of that box there, Dave, on the bottom, and then bang, you got your own dog bowl stand. Bringing it back from last week.
Just set it like this. Put the hole here.
Yeah.
That'd be for one of them little yappy dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's they're pretty nice. Like I said, even using a really crummy plywood, they make a nice little box. And something else too, the people that make craft stuff and all that, you could call this a gift box.
Yeah, well, Cody actually was saying that you're going to be making Halloween lanterns. The little
Yeah,
bag
they look
looking ones. I've seen people do that before. They look pretty neat. That would,
Use a cedar picket fence.
yeah. Well, you could use that Luan stuff and
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jamie
knock
Page
'em
just
out.
popped in.
Yeah.
Hello, Jamie.
Jamie Page. All right, did we get all the questions answered? I don't like to leave till we get.
Yeah, we got them. We did it while you were cutting.
Okay. All right.
I
Good.
got us all cut up.
All right. Well, I guess we're. Let's see, we're a little over an hour. Has anybody got any other questions before we get out of here? Of course, we're going to do the giveaway first. We will not forget that.
No, but we don't have any other questions at the moment. But there are some free options out there available too for the box
Yeah.
generators.
Yeah, why don't you tell us about one you found today,
Yeah,
Ryan?
the one of them is from Inventables. They have their easel program, which is free, and of course, because that's what I use. Uh, the it's interesting though because you got to do it in two steps. One is the box generator itself, which just like the one from Vectric, you put it in the size that you want it to be and such like that. Then what you have to do after it generates the box is you have to highlight everything, and then you go to another widget, whatever, or gadget, whatever they call them, and you have to tell it to put the dog bones into it. And so it's a little bit more of a process. I mean, I don't know why you would not want the dog, like if you're Inventables, you're a CNC company, why you wouldn't add the dog bone part into your box generator.
At least a tab.
But yeah, but oh, well, whatever. It's free and they work, so it's a free option.
See, now I've used Box Designer for my laser.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's another freebie. It's sweet and simple, and it kicks it out. What is it? PDF and EXF SVG. And you know what? I'll show you a little bit of my messy shop.
Uh-oh, here he goes.
Hopefully I don't do the Dave and pull my... Okay, there you go.
Wow, that's impressive.
So...
Getting you over there.
Sean, you're just too organized. There's something.
No. Trust me, if like my wife was like Russ's, and she came in and said, "I'm going to organize your shop," I'd be going, "Yes, please."
I told her, "Don't you set one foot in the door."
Now you do have stuff in all those drawers, right?
Yes, they're packed. Matter of fact, it's time for some more.
I'm surprised you didn't cut labels on them so you know which drawer was what.
Actually, what I like about it is you can write on it with pencil, and when you empty it, you just sand that off. And
now is that all made out of 1/4-inch plywood? Is it?
No, this most of this is MDF.
Oh, MDF.
Yeah. The actual ply, I have a whole setup in my house in a hobby room, and it's about the same amount. It's just pretty nice. Now that's done with birch.
That was a pretty nice looking job, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, look real good.
Yeah. Now after seeing this, it's like bigger drawers, bigger organization.
I found. Speaking of the online ones, I found one watching a video, and I didn't write it down because I thought, "Oh, that's easy. I'll remember it." Of course, I forgot what it was, but I know the last part of it is PY. So it's either boxcreator.py or something like that. But this was a laser guy that I was watching his video, so he was using it for for laser work.
The same as this one.
So anyway, well, I guess we'll get ready to do the Jenny thing. We got 78 in there. We got a whole lot more than that watching. So if anybody wants to get in, put hashtag Jenny in the chat. You got another minute or two, and
it helps if you throw a thumbs up.
Yeah,
I don't know if it really helps, but it makes me feel good.
It gives me the warm and fuzzies. But let's see if we're going to stay steady. Yeah, it went up a little bit. We'll give it a minute. And let's see. Let's see if I saw any other. All right, Steve over at Harnell Media says he uses Maker Case for his laser. All right.
Is that a freebie?
Have to look at that one.
Yeah, Maker Case.
Yeah.
Very cool. Dun, 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 dun.
And I should have mentioned, I don't think I talked about it, but I think one of the differences between VCarve Pro and VCarve Desktop is in the desktop. I don't think you have Gadget. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but
No, you're right.
I'm pretty sure you don't get the option to use Gadget. So if you're on a smaller CNC and you're using VCarve desktop, you would probably want to check out one of these other free ones like the easel or I wish I could think of that one. I think it was called boxcreator.py or something like that. But anyway, if you look online, just put free online box creator, and you won't have any trouble finding one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pulled up
They all
this
basically,
maker.
from what I saw when I pulled them up, the different ones, they all look pretty much the same as the Vectric one. Like I said, the Vectric one's a third-party thing, so it's not like they did it. Somebody did it.
Right. I
Related.
just
Very
pulled up
safe.
the maker case, and I've actually been here before. This is newer than the other one. The maker case is pretty cool because you can do polygons and boxes and rounds. So
Oh, that's cool.
pretty neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
It only works with
That
laser.
one that I was trying to think of the name of, it had, and again, it was geared toward lasers, I think, but it had where you could get different shapes, and you could even do the ones where you kind of score the thing and make curves.
I wonder if it's the same one then, because it's the curved bend box and
Yeah. So, like I said, the one with Vectric, it's pretty basic. There's not a lot of bells and whistles to it, and I'm going to have to play around. Maybe on another show we'll demonstrate how to get the dovetail thing to work if I can figure it out. But there's really no documentation that I see. So, but anyway, as far as just basic boxes, it's pretty handy.
yeah. And that
All
was
right,
flat.
I think we're stuck on 83, so we're getting ready to give away this Genie bit. Let me show it one more time here.
So that means you should have at least 83 likes. Thumbs up. That's a pretty bit. I'd wear that
It
as
is
an
pretty.
I would do that. Russ, I'm going to take your idea.
Yes, indeed.
All right, let's give away a Genie bit. Everybody ready?
Good luck.
Good luck, and here we go.
I can see my
Jenna,
name
Jenna.
being the last one.
So what happens when Cody wins?
Oh. Ronald Cool.
Ronald Cool.
Nice.
How cool
The
is
last
that?
one.
Ronald Cool. Congratulations, Ronald.
Very good.
And in case you don't know, I'm sure you've been here before, but in case you don't know, you want to contact Cody at www.cadencemfgdesign.com. Let him know your shipping address and stuff, and he will get that compression bit on the way.
That is awesome. Thanks for doing that, Cody.
Oh, he said he's never put his name in.
No. That's why
Yes,
it'd
he
be funny
did. He
if
did
you
it
won.
one time. He put his name in one time. The very first show that I was on, he put his name in because mine didn't show up.
That's right, you did.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. Well, I guess nobody's dropped off yet. I'm going to say we might as well say goodnight because usually everybody drops off after that. But thank you all for tuning in tonight. We've had a really good crowd tonight.
Yeah.
And
Fun
lots
night.
of good questions. And Ronald said it's his first time winning anything.
There you go.
Well, if you're going to just win one time in your life, might as well win a Genie bit.
Yeah.
That's what I
A
was.
compression bit at that.
God diggity. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll get out of here. Like I said, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Leave a thumbs up on the way out if you are so inclined, or a thumbs down. I don't care, either one. And if there's anything you'd like to see, I try to come up with stuff to do, the different little things I see in the chat or stuff like that. But anything specific somebody'd like to see me demonstrate or something, don't hesitate to let me know. Either put it in here or
You got the camera?
What was
You knew
that?
I was going to do something. The camera still works.
But it shook. I was worried.
Yeah,
It's going down.
I can vouch for the strength of those finger joints. That hit concrete down there. So anyway, we're going to get out of here. I forget what I was saying now. But, thank you, Wolfman, for keeping an eye on the chat tonight.
No problem.
John, Paul, Russ, thank y'all.
Good night, everybody.
And we will.
Night,
get out of
everybody.
here. So, all right, I got the button ready. Good night, everybody. See you next week.